6 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, a whopping 182 goal contributions in 370 games, and a laundry list of iconic goals. But who could I possibly be talking about? Many recall Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be the beloved super sub in Sir Alex Ferguson's dominant Manchester United teams, a supporting actor to the main players such as David Beckham or Ruud van Nistelrooy. But if you ever wondered just how good Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really was in his prime, the man known as the babyface assassin certainly left his mark on Manchester United's history, but is still overlooked by many to this day, especially those from the post-Sir Alex era. Was he really more than just a super sub? Let's dive into the legacy of this iconic striker. Born in Kristiansand, Norway, Solskjaer's journey to football stardom was nothing short of remarkable. From humble beginnings to lighting up the Premier League, his story is one of determination and sheer talent. Solskjaer made his debut at just 17 years old with Klausenengen in the 3rd division in Norway. Solskjaer's prolific goal scoring would see his club promoted and the young talent bagging over a goal a game. This would earn him a move to Molde in the 1st division of Norway, where he would continue to score goals for fun. Finally, in 1996, his big move to Manchester United would be completed, seeing the striker join for £1.5 million, and it didn't take long for him to make an impact. While he was initially labeled as a super sub, his contributions to the team would become far more significant than meets the eye. The transfer shocked fans and media alike, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being relatively unknown outside of Norway. With Eric Cantona and Andy Cole as Manchester United's starting strikers, playing time was not expected to be frequent for the young talent, who at least had 2 of the best strikers to ever play the game as his mentor. Alongside the fact that Manchester United had failed on signing their initial target in Alan Shearer, it was clear that fans would not have many expectations for the striker. Solskjaer, however, had different intentions and was determined to make his mark. 6 minutes into his debut, Solskjaer would net his first goal against Blackburn Rovers, coming on as a substitute, and once the goals started coming, they wouldn't stop, with Solskjaer scoring 18 goals and providing 4 assists in his first Premier League campaign. His innocent appearance but deadly finishing had the media calling him the baby-faced assassin. His second season would be much less prolific, but would provide one of his first iconic moments, which would highlight his legacy at the club. However, this time there was no goal involved. In a crucial game against Newcastle, in which Manchester United needed at least a tie to keep up with Arsenal in a heated title race, Solskjaer would come on in the 79th minute looking to grab the winner. All of a sudden, Newcastle would find themselves on a breakaway, looking to grab the winner themselves, when up steps Solskjaer to prevent the clear goal-scoring opportunity, getting himself sent off in the process. He received a standing ovation from Old Trafford for his selfless act, although he was later privately berated and fined by Sir Alex for the lack of fair play. He received admiration from United fans, and this became the first of his many legendary moments in his career. The most legendary moment, of course, would come the following year, the one that would cement him into Manchester United history as a legend forever. That fateful night at the Camp Nou, German powerhouse Bayern Munich found themselves with an early lead in the Champions League final, with Manchester United's treble on the line. With the clock winding down, Sir Alex called upon Teddy Sheringham and Solskjaer to turn the game around. Stoppage time was approaching, and United still were searching for a goal. 36 seconds into added time, Sheringham would get the equalizer, and the hunt for the winner was on. The kickoff would result in a corner for United, and now every fan would be off their seat. David Beckham's whip ball would get flicked on by Sheringham before Solskjaer would smash it home from close range, securing the Champions League title as well as the treble. A truly legendary moment in anyone's career, but a monumental one in that of the boy from Norway. The following seasons would see his playing time limited, but still would see Solskjaer scoring impressive amounts of goals given his opportunities on the pitch, consistently scoring a minimum of 10 goals per season. It was not just the goals that stuck with the fans, but the countless times where he would be the hero, helping United to win in the dying minutes of the game. Without these crucial, game-winning goals, United certainly would not have won the 3 consecutive Premier League titles that they had had up until that point, with Solskjaer having won 4 in his first 5 seasons at the club. The next 2 seasons would see Solskjaer plagued with injuries, but still contributing with goals when he was able to play. but numerous knee injuries in a row would finally make Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hang up the boots, with the Norwegian finding himself forced to call it quits after unsuccessful attempts to get back to his best level. Retiring as a legend, he would receive a proper send-off from the faithful United supporters who he had enchanted so many times. Throughout his career, Solskjaer had many opportunities to leave Manchester United, with the club even having offered him to a number of clubs during the transfer windows. Every single time, Solskjaer chose to stay at the club and continue to fight for a starting place, even when he could have been the main man at any of the other clubs. Even though at times, it appeared as if Manchester United did not appreciate him and his contributions, being willing to get rid of him, he remained loyal and undoubtedly earned even more respect in the eyes of supporters who saw a hard-working player who thought of the team's well-being over his own. Solskjaer's 11 major trophies speak for themselves, but there are so many aspects of his illustrious career that go overlooked. He found a way to become a legend, filled in a squad of legends in one of the most successful eras for any club in recent history. And all of this whilst usually coming off the bench and fighting countless injuries. None of this mattered to him. He lived and breathed goals, and had a knack for being the man of the occasion. He retired as the player in the Premier League with the most goals off of the bench with 17, and the most goals as a substitute for Manchester United with 28. But numbers don't do justice to what these goals mean. Numbers can't describe the emotions of a last-minute winner, the adrenaline that it produces, the exhilaration that one feels. A goal in the 10th minute of the game and a game-winning goal in the last minute of the game are completely different, but on paper they go down as the same. And that's why it's the essence of Solskjaer's goals, the moments he was able to produce that have remained ingrained in the minds of fans and will remain in the history books forever. Sure, Solskjaer made a name for himself as a lethal substitute, famously clinching crucial goals in late games. But let's not overlook his impressive goal-scoring record. 126 goals in 366 games for Manchester United, not to mention the 53 assists. These stats are a testament to just how efficient and effective the Norwegian was, the epitome of consistency and cold-bloodedness. With his impeccable positioning and killer instinct, he was a nightmare for defenders. Who could forget that historic night in Barcelona when Solskjaer etched his name in Manchester United folklore with that last-minute winner in the Champions League final? It's moments like these that cemented his status as a United legend. But Solskjaer's influence extended far beyond his goal-scoring heroics. Known for his professionalism and dedication, he was a role model both on and off the field. His work ethic and team spirit inspired a generation of players. Former teammates and coaches have often spoken glowingly of Solskjaer's leadership qualities, whether it was offering guidance to young players or rallying the team during tough times. He was the perfect example of a team player. It takes a lot as a footballer to accept a role that isn't that of a starter as the primary striker, but of a role player who may only get 10 minutes to change a game. What it takes the most is selflessness, commitment, and a team-first attitude to show up every day and work hard and make others around you better. And when you get your opportunity to show what you're worth, you make the most of it. That was the example that Solskjaer set for others. So how good was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his prime? Well, he was much more than just a super sub. He was a goal-scoring machine, a leader, and a true ambassador for the beautiful game. His legacy will live forever in the history of Manchester United.